the code of the site, and if you look at it, you will find. I hope that Sebastian found it. So you will find out very easily that the code has also 3 parts. Can you make it? Yeah, 3 parts, and this is very interesting and I think it's quite professional. So in the first part, can you just put the whole screen? There was a no. Okay, so in the first part, you will see that some kind of ActiveX things are happening. You see here that the cov exec gets downloaded, and it's written to somewhere. This is actually an exploit for an ActiveX vulnerability. Okay, you will find out that you have almost the same exploit code twice in the page. There was the first one, and Sebastian just marking the second one. So this is the first part of the code. And then if we are going down, you will find something like, Sebastian, can you please go down? Something like very strange things happening here. Okay, we will talk about this one. What the heck is it? And this is the second part. And the third part, of course, and the third part is you see that it is some kind of a Unicode encoded stuff. So these are the 3 major parts in the code, and you guessed probably by right now that this is the 3 exploit that the site containing. And this Unicode you can decrypt easily, and what you will find out that this is actually a delivery method for the encrypted code in the middle, and the encrypted code in the middle is the third exploit. Okay, so this is the 3 exploit, and of course this is very much in line what you have seen when you browse the site. So the first one is the ADODB stream object vulnerability. The next one is the help activist control vulnerability, and the last is the drag and drop vulnerability. Okay, so as you have seen, the 3, 5 are identical, and the fourth one, the x.cham, was a Windows help file. And the Windows help file is actually doing nothing else, just delivering the same files. So a cov exe and cov1 exe was delivered by the ADODB vulnerability. The x.cham was delivered by the drag and drop, and the x.cham delivered the money exe, which was the fourth file through the ActiveX control vulnerability. So okay, so because all the 3 malicious code was the same, is enough for us just to analyze one of them, and you are already seeing that, for example, this proxy engine. It gets malicious, I think, and of course you are seeing here that he adds himself to the Windows firewall policy that he can access the internet. You see that it starts as new service, and those things, if you look for them, they are mostly belonging to some kind of virus scanner, or Norton antivirus, or Symantec antivirus, or something like that. They are processes for those. Okay. Sebastian? Okay, and if you execute this code in a sandbox, you will see that yeah, this is really that's happening, what we guessed by now from the register entries, from the strings what we found, and from the results, our tool. So you see that if you start the malicious code, it creates two files. He creates a new service and makes some settings in the registry for the service, and delivers also a driver. And by this, he is opening a proxy on your server, which is most likely controlled by a botnet. So if you are visiting that site with your Windows XP Service Pack 2, then you are by now part of a botnet. Okay, so the summary: this site was not like the other one because this is more professional. This is the author remains anonymous because the malicious code was on a hacked page, so delivered by a hacked page to users who are actually not looking for trouble than in the other case. Yeah, and of course, it's not for money, or not for money directly. It's creation of a botnet, and of course, probably the owner of the botnet will send or will sell his botnet for money. But if you look at the code, we don't do it now, but the author is so I don't know the real word, but he's also accessing some counters. So he makes some hits, some counters in Russia. So he's probably from Russia. Okay, and back to Sebastian.
Okay, so yeah, we wanted to reverse engineer the file, but yeah, we already 45 minutes through the talk almost, so we said we couldn't really make it. But maybe one last part of the presentation is forensics, and it's really in a nutshell, because last year we spoke, I think, more than an hour about forensics, and I think you can probably spend weeks talking about it. But because this is private investigations, we want to urge you to start your own investigations, and maybe some of the tools can help you while doing this. Okay. So first of all, take a look at the stuff that we've done last year. I think many of the tools are actually quite helpful again. Basically, you need the entire suite from sysinternals.com. You need the stuff from Foundstone, their forensic tools, and obviously any network sniffer is actually quite interesting or quite useful. Etherreal will do the job, of course. If you want to really get into the stuff, you have to reverse engineer the stuff, which is in fact quite difficult. We have given an example last year about this, and what you can do is you can use a debugger like OllyDebug or IDA Pro, or well, there are many others, but I think those two are the most important ones. What you can do is you can take a look at iDefense malware analysis pack. It's actually it's a collection of software meant to be used for the purpose of analyzing malware, basically. And it's a very good piece of software written by those guys, and I think you should take a look at it. We have also two websites that we can really recommend to you. It's Norman Sandbox and virustotal.com. And I think if we go on, we're going to see a screenshot. Yes, this is actually virustotal.com. It's a very good website, and I just stumbled across accidentally, actually, and it's excellent because what it does basically is you submit a file, and it will scan the file, I think in about 20 or 25 virus scanners, okay, for you, and you get the result after a while. So it's excellent. Okay, I know this screenshot is not quite readable, but basically what it does, what it says is, I've uploaded the file money.exe. That was the file that was created by the exploit of molecularmultimedia.com, which was, as we said, compromised. And basically, he's going to use F-Secure, he's going to use Bitdefender, he's going to use semantic antivirus, he's going to use Sophos, he's going to use all those different virus scanners to scan the file we sent, and then he's going to give you the result of the file, what it has actually detected. So some of them actually could say, well, this is Trojan horse, X and Y. This could be sober.y or whatever it is. And basically, if in my opinion, we had a case actually which we are currently investigating, in which most of the virus scanners did actually not find a virus in the file. So when you have a malicious, or you think you have a malicious file, and many of those virus scanners are not picking it up, then I think you have something interesting. And I didn't try it because I just got the exploit today, but the WMF exploit that's currently spreading around the internet, I think it would be interesting to throw it in there and just to see what all those virus scanners say about it, okay? Okay, then the next thing we have, it's called sandbox.norman.no. It's actually a very interesting project, and again, I just stumbled across somehow. What it does, basically, you give it a file, and it will execute the file for you, basically, okay? And it will record all the stuff the file has done and give you a nice kind of report, okay? Sorry. Sorry. What you have is, sorry. What you have is basically what we've seen before. The money.exe will actually install 2 files. It will install a new service, and it will run as a backdoor on your system. And maybe those people that know Thorsten Holz, I just spoke with him this morning, and they have actually a diploma thesis which will implement an open source sandbox for malware analysis. This is actually quite cool. So that we will have in the future, probably next year at some stage, a software which we can use to automatically analyze malware in a closed environment, okay? So we almost come to the end. Yeah, I think, or we both think that honey clients are actually a very interesting type of research you can do. It will help us to understand the interrelation between malicious website, malicious code, and then gaining money from the internet. And we still have to find out how long it takes for an exploit to be released, let's say on chaotic or full disclosure or whatever, and then from being used. I think this WMF exploit we were just seeing the other day is a good example for this. And I think, in my opinion, it usually takes less than a day, but we still don't have certain fixed numbers about it. Okay, then I think also honey clients could enable us to find undisclosed or new vulnerabilities. This is always a goal, an ultimate goal for us. Good guys, obviously. Then it can help you to explore the current threat situation, because it will give you an overview of the things that are actually currently happening. What you can do as well, and I think, and that's why we're here, we ask the community to help us with this approach, because what we need is we need better software to actually analyze malicious code, and also we need websites that actually contain malicious links. So my idea is setting up a wiki or something, and just basically whenever somebody comes across a web or knows about a malicious website, just put the website in the wiki, and people can start analyzing it. So we get the list that Microsoft and other people actually have, like F-Secure, they have such a list as well, but they don't want to disclose. We have a list of some malicious websites, but they keep changing, and we need more of them. And the legal aspects, finally, I think are quite similar to those mentioned last year. I mean, it is always a problem is, okay, let's say, okay, we had a big discussion last year, and I don't want to start it all again, but because we can do this later on in the bar if you want to. But I think the legal aspects are quite the same. If you have a honey client that goes to a website, is being exploited, and then is used, let's say, in a botnet, then the question is, are you as a user reliable for this? Obviously, we are not lawyers, and well, some might blame Microsoft, some might blame the users. We still don't know, but this some of the stuff you have to be aware of. And yeah, I think.
Yeah, I just want to add that there is a very thin line. I would make the comparison like if you lost a knife on the street, it's not a crime. But if you throw the knife into a prison, and somebody will killed by this knife, it might be a crime. So that's a very thin line, and this is not. Yeah, but if you remember the talk before, yeah, maybe we should take the anarchistic approach and yeah, just do it. Okay, so I think yes, we have some time left, not as last year, and we have some time for questions. But before that, I want to point out to some interesting links. If you want to go to the Microsoft website, they have some. I don't know how they got it, but they have some interesting research papers.
and they won't give you the websites, which is kind of weird in my opinion, but they have interesting projects and interesting research there. A good project is actually the Typo Petrol, which I came across, I think, 2 or 3 days ago, which will basically, they will try to make